What is good, my peeps? It is your knucker, Big Rocker, back at you again with another action figure review. We're coming at you this time with Hasbro Star Wars, the Black Series. This is taken from the Disney Plus show, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. We are talking about the Purge Trooper, Phase 2 armor. There have been other Purge Troopers in different style armor, and this was the iteration of the Purge Trooper that was shown in Obi-Wan Kenobi's show. And I remember when I first saw the Purge Trooper come out, and it was, I want to say it was episode 5. I could be wrong on that. It doesn't matter what episode it is. All I know is that it was when Reva had a bunch of stormtroopers with her, and there was like 2 or 3 Purge troopers with that little squad, or large squad actually. And I had took note of it, and I was like, oh man, Hasbro's got to make a figure of this cat. And they did. So here we are, and I'm happy about it. I decided to do this review despite I've made a decision I'm going to really cut back on my Black Series reviews, since it seems like you guys aren't all that interested in the Black Series, just going off of how many views I get on my Star Wars reviews. But when it comes to the Stormtroopers, I'm a fiend for them, so I'm going to do reviews on them at the very least. I'm not going to stop entirely. There'll be some characters that I'll do reviews on, but I am going to cut down. Anyhow, you see what we got going on in the packing. This is one of the last few Black Series figures that's going to be in packaging as we see it. You know how they're coming with the plastic free. Turn it to the side there. We've got artwork of the Purge Trooper, Phase 2 armor. And then, of course, in the back, we have that same artwork. This is number 7 in the Obi-Wan Kenobi line of figures, and while we still have the window boxing, we still get readouts. And this one states Obi-Wan Kenobi is set years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced the corruption of his friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker turned Sith Lord Darth Vader. Now that's the same readout that's been on all of the Obi-Wan Kenobi figures. They don't have anything individual, but it's been so long since I've read one, I figured I may as well go ahead and do that. Anyhow, it's what we got. It's the figure once again. Looking at it from the front, let's get our Purge Trooper out of the packaging and give it a quick look. Here we have our Purge Trooper on our rotating base, giving you a 360-degree visual of the figure. And first glance is just like when I saw in the package, and even before that on the show. This figure, visually speaking, is the business. Straight bomb. But once again, I'm biased. I'm a sucker for stormtroopers, and this particular one is no exception. The design is just fire to me. We'll of course investigate that design when we get the figure off the platter. I went right into this particular segment because he comes just with the blaster that you see him brandishing right now. So I figured I may as well just display him with it. That blaster is molded in a gray plastic, with, of course, no other paint details, as is usual and typical of Hasbro, especially with their Black Series line. But you do see what we got going on with this figure. He's got a pauldron on his right shoulder. That skirt is soft goods, so that's really excellent. And I do believe that's one of the reasons why Black Series figures are lackluster when it comes to accessories, because they do on occasion give us soft good clothing items, and obviously that takes up a fair amount of their budget. So it is what it is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our Purge Trooper off of the rotating base. Before we do that, though, I need you guys to go down below. That's right, I didn't forget. Go down below, like the video, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Help support this channel. Alright, so while you guys are doing that, I will be getting our Purge Trooper off of the base. Taking a closer look at our Purge Trooper, looking at the head sculpt, initially the helmet, obviously. You see that it is the, I like to think of it as the specialized helmet that certain troopers wear. Shore troopers wear this. The hover or the speed bike troopers, they wear helmets similar to this, and in this case it's in black. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Death Troopers, they wear their helmets like this also. They're also in black. And you see we've got the red visor eyes there, as well as the red apps on the grill, where, you know, at the cheeks. So you've got that looking pretty nice. Then, of course, we've got on his right side this pauldron, which is red, and it's actually it's molded in black, and it's I think this is like a layover of red on it on top of that black. I could be wrong. Going down on the trooper's left arm, on the bicep, you see you've got that red bicep band there. Going down to the belt, it's molded in black. It's actually separate, but it's like glued on, or it's on tight enough that it won't like move, but it does. You can feel it and tell that it's not really a part of the mold. You see you've got the red, some red sections there. Nothing going on in the back. And while we're back there, he's got the that backpack. There's nothing going on there. It's just straight black. Then we go down. We've got the skirt, as I mentioned before, soft goods. And you could see, like I said, it's soft goods. It's trimmed in red, which is cool. And it's got a split in the back there. Then the rest is, you know, he's got the tall thigh-high boots. You look inside, you could see the separation there of what his pants or trousers would be in terms of, you see that texture in there. But then he's got the flex of the thigh-high boots. They're all black, and it just continues down to his boots. His boots have got some detail, but of course there's nothing to distinguish that detail. So that's how it goes down with our Purge Trooper. So like I said, it's a nice looking figure. Now, earlier in the review, when we had the figure on the rotating base, I had mentioned curiously about visually, this trooper is the business. It is bomb when you look at it. But now we're going to talk about the articulation. The articulation is, as you would expect from Black Series, which is nothing to write home about. So you know, that's what I meant by that, which can be somewhat unfortunate. The head is on a dumbbell, so it can look down only that far, but that's mostly because of the nature of the helmet, and the same goes for looking up. It's not going to get up that much. You can rotate it left and right and basically 360 it. Be careful because the pauldron is going to go with it. That's separate. If you popped the helmet off, you could remove the pauldron right there. As far as the shoulders are concerned, you see he's got the shoulder pads. They are connected to the shoulders, so you can 360 them like that without fear of you know, bending the shoulder pads that way. However, when you do raise the arm up to almost 90, you could possibly crumple / bend your shoulder pads that way. There is no bicep swivel, so that's, you know, like I said, that's Black Series for you. Single jointed elbow, that's Black Series for you, which means it swivels. And then, of course, with the hand, we're talking about the left hand, you've got the wrist swivel and horizontal hinge. And the same goes for the right, only the hinge here is vertical. So that's what you got going on that way. As far as your torso, you've got a diaphragm that only goes forward, almost non-existent, goes just a little bit, the sliced bit. You can go back that much, which isn't that much better, but it's better than what it is going forward. You can lean with it, rock with it, and of course you can rotate it basically 360 if you so chose. As far as hips, he can do the splits that far out. He can lift his leg up that much, but that's because the thigh-high boots get in the way, so you'd have to bevel it out some in order to get it to do a 90. It'll go back about that much. Let me lift up his skirt. That didn't even sound right. Lift up his skirt while I do that. Here's the deceptive part right there. Looking at the knees, you would think that they're double jointed, but they're not. They're single jointed and they swivel. Typical Black Series. So you got that. As far as the foot is concerned, he can point his toe that far forward, that far up. He does have ankle pivot, and you know what time it is. Holes, peg holes at the top of the bottom of his feet. Now for some comparisons, just so you can see the similarities with the helmets. Like I was speaking on earlier, we've got our Purge Trooper side by side with a Shore Trooper. This is the version that is part of the Mandalorian line. And now, going with the black motif, we have our Purge Trooper side by side with a Death Trooper. This is also from the Mandalorian show. And finally, continuing on with the black motif, we have, of course, also from the Mandalorian series, we've got the Dark Trooper, the automated stormtroopers. And finally, both keeping up with the black motif, as well as paying homage to the person who I first saw the Phase 2 armor Purge Trooper with, we've got Reva, third sister. So, to sum it all up, the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, and I forgot to mention this in my opener, Walmart exclusive Purge Trooper Phase 2 armor action figure is, for me, definitely a winner. It's another Stormtrooper to add to the collection, and I just love the look. I love the design, the black, the reds, the soft goods skirt with the red trim and the red pauldron is definitely makes the figure for sure. Like I said, when I first saw it in that episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I immediately fell in love and couldn't wait until Hasbro would make a figure of this particular Stormtrooper. I'm very happy with it. As far as the articulation, it's standard Black Series, what we normally get with the single jointed joints, both elbows and knees, single jointed and swiveling. But you know, it is what it is. It still looks good. The one thing I could say is it may have been for the best. I don't know, because the nature of this design, what with the elbow guards and the knee guards, it probably was for the best, so it doesn't break up the look of the character. So it is what it is. And as Stormtroopers go, they're not going to need to really have them in crazy dynamic poses anyway. I know that's a rationalization, but that's what we have to do when it comes to these action figures sometimes. Anyway, it's a great figure. I definitely like it and glad that it's part of the collection. I just have to figure out a display for my Obi-Wan Kenobi line. So having said that, that's going to be it for this review. Please, once again, like the video, share the video so others can like it. While you're down there, subscribe if you have not done so already. Support the channel. Leave comments below, questions, concerns, critiques, whatever. And also, if you want to be notified when I upload another video, hit that notification bell and notified you shall be on behalf of the Purge Trooper. I was about to say Stormtrooper. It is, but you know, the Purge Trooper. I am the Ruckus, leaving you with this. Remember, the hunt continues, and I'm out. Peace.